And so I'm going to have to go this route. And hopefully some of you will catch up with me. I'm hoping. And we'll just go from there. I have no idea what's going on with that today. So let me get this squared away here. Yeah, I'm back, Mike. I have no idea. Mike, can you send a little message out to the other guys saying that, hey, the live wasn't working, so I'm on this one, just so they know, just put on that, put it on our, um, on our text message or something, so people can find me, because this is frustrating as heck. I mean, I have no idea why. There you go. And I see that New Beginnings is live now too, even though he knew I was going to be on live today. So New Beginnings is already out there doing something. Because I do want to do a couple of neat projects. I have some really cool stuff to do today, and I did want to share that with y'all. So let's see if we can't get some people on here so that we can share it. I have no idea what happened. What are we making today? Well, this little tiny piece of wood this is a great thing for using something with the tiniest pieces of wood, is going to go in this, which is a mirror compact that women like to keep in their purse for, checking their makeup and so forth. And see if I can pop this open. My fingers don't work as good. So it's a mirror inside, as you can see. And this gets turned and put on top. And you can sell these for, $10 or so, $15. And all it takes is a small piece of wood. So I thought I would demonstrate that today. So if we can get some people in here, we will do that. Okay. It would be interesting, I know. I just hope it's just not it's not you and me. I see 22 people in here, so please hit the like button if you would, please, so that others know that you're here. Ignore the fact that it says oak burl, because we're not going to be turning a big oak burl bowl today. We do have a small one though, because that's just what was on here from a previous video. So just ignore all that for now, and we will try and get this going. Okay. If you have any questions, please ask them. This is a great time to do it since there's not many people on yet. Last time we had 50,000 people on here, 50,000 views on here, so, or 53,000 actually. So I'm kind of looking forward to getting a few more people on. Meanwhile, I'm going to try and fix this also. Let's see. Get my video up. There we go. Great. My TV screen has a picture of me, of my stuff ready to go, but we're not turning yet. So at least I'll have it doing like this. That means it looks like something, right? There we go. I didn't want this pointy thing to push and mar the finish on the top of this, so I put a little piece of paper towel here to kind of buffer that. Well, Mike, I'm going to get us started. A whiskey festival. That's pretty nice. By the way, Mike, I looked for your videos yesterday. Did you not post them? Your shorts? Okay, well, we got 58 people have found us. That's a start. So let's go with that. And again, I'm sorry that the live that was scheduled for some reason did not come up on YouTube. It did not go through. So we're having to just do a live. So we'll do it that way. And bear with us, and we'll get this going. So what this is a disc, and I'll show that in a minute. But I use double stick tape. And the double stick tape is from an X fastener, but there's some others too. But there are some special Woodturner double stick tapes out there that work really good. You don't want to use something like an alien tape or something like that sticks really good, but then when you twist it, it comes off, or command tape, but something like that would not work. You need to use a double stick tape for Woodturners, and you need to let it set for a while. I actually put this on and then I clamped it for a while so that it had a chance to really set in. I did it actually yesterday. So let's get this started and see if we can get something out of it. And it doesn't always work. Oops, sometimes, for whatever reason, the wood doesn't cooperate. I'm going to turn the speed up just a little bit. Delicate with this because you don't want it to chip off. You don't want the point to chip off, crack off. You want to keep it nice and round. And it needs to be the same, it needs to be round, the same size as this holder, because if it's not, it won't fit. So, and I kind of started, the other one didn't work because the first live that we did here, my wife was on and she was showing her craft off, and she was saying hi to her dad who's watching. He's 90 years old. He was up in Oregon, and just got a chance to do these things. And well, you talk about a guy who just is a natural. He's kind of a natural handyman, and nobody showed him how. But he built several things onto his house. He became an oil and an oil furnace and air conditioning guy. Then he opened up a sheet metal business where he would make customized sheet metal work. He worked with miners and stuff. A lot of miners went to him to have slews made for their mine equipment. And he would also create gutters, did gutter work, and had a guttering company. All you need to do is show him a piece of metal and he could turn it into something without even thinking about it, really. He was just that good. And some people just have that natural talent. I never had that kind of talent, so I wouldn't know, but some guys just have that natural ability, and he was one of them. He does a lot of impressive work over the years. Okay, so we got this rounded. Now we have to kind of curve up the from the top. We need to kind of curve up to it. And you don't want this to come flying off. again, I don't want to. Okay, I'm going to have to switch tools here, I think. I'm going to go to a small negative rate scraper, see if I can get some of that onto there with that. That's not going to do it. Okay, let me look at this. Oh, okay, I see what the problem is. Need to tighten this up a little bit more. That will help a lot, so it's not slipping on me. Okay, that might help a little bit. Okay. Try this. Raise that just a little bit, I think. Just a hair. Okay. Oops, sorry about that. Okay. Let's see if this works. Spinning at over 1,000 RPMs. Gotta be really careful they're not asking us to do more than it's doing. Now, why am I getting a bounce there? Ah, there's a little nubbin right there. Okay. Let's see, maybe I can take that off of this. Wow. You got some other people in here now? Hi, Mike. I'm glad you made it home. Sorry, hi, Hernan. Everybody else, Big Dog. Thank you guys for coming in. Please hit the like button if you can. Had a problem tonight with the scheduled event, so we had to go live without it. So I know a lot of people that were looking to go to my that was announced with the 9/11 label on there. Obviously, they're saying, gee, what happened to him? And so I probably lost a few. We'll see what we can do here. Maybe we can win some of them over. Or if you have friends that usually watch and you're not, let them know that we're here. That would be helpful too. Boy, that is really, really hard wood. It does not want to come off. Okay, well, I can try something else. Let me try this. Oops. That didn't feel good falling on my foot. Always remember your gouge handles are round and they do roll, and your foot is down below them. I just found out again. And the reason you don't want this too high, of course, it's because it takes up more room in the purse. You want this to be nice and gently sloping. And you want it to have a nice finish to it. So, I think I can take a little bit more off of there, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. See that? Even with a sharp spindle gouge, that doesn't want to dig into that center. That is a hard piece of wood. I believe this is a piece of ash that I had left over. I'm not certain of it, but I think that's what it was. Oh no! I take that back. This is a piece of. There's a piece of. I think it was bloodwood, if I'm not mistaken. It came from this right here, and as you can see, it's very tight grained, very hard. It will not bend or anything. And I still got to turn this at some point, and I'm not sure how many times I'm going to have to resharpen my blades to turn this thing, because it is a hard chunk of wood. But it's got some beautiful grain in it. And I just wanted to get a little end piece off of it for this. And I think I'm getting there now. Okay, and I think we have the shape. So I'm going to sand this up just a little bit. Excuse me for a minute, I'm going to have to turn this dust collector on. Reverse it. Yeah, that feels now. Okay, that was just rough sanding there with an 80 grit. We'll do a 120 first. And we'll turn that around. Go the right way. To it. Okay. I think we'll go just a little bit higher. The grit. This time we'll hit it like this. Without spinning. We won't get any little lines in it from the spinning of the wheel. And then I'm going to finally go up to a 400, because this being a jewelry box kind of thing, we want it to be nice and finished. Normally I wouldn't say go up this high, but with this hard surface wood, you don't usually have to. hear me better again. So let's see. Take that off there. Okay. So, like I said earlier, this is just you can buy these, and this is just a holder. It's kind of a flat face plate, and like I said, I used some glue on not glue. I used some double stick tape on here, which we'll have to remove in a minute. I just want to leave this on here while I polish it up a little bit. Ooh, that was good. I think we'll use a little feed wax here. Kind of rub that in. Tighten that back up for a second. Yeah, green's starting to show through a little bit. Feed wax is pretty nice stuff. It's available, most any Howard's feed wax available most any hardware like Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace Hardware, any of those kind of places. There we go. That's better. Okay. Take that off of there. Now the fun part, because as much as you like having the double stick tape work, you also have to get it off. So the way we do that, let me get a chisel here. Oops. Not a big one. I'll just take those. That was good. Take a small one here. Leave it in there. And should be able to just pop this off, but we'll see. There we go. There we go. And I'll be able to take these strips off and be able to show you what we got here. Whoa. It really, really sticks. But you can do these very quickly. And like I said, you can use basically throwaway wood. It's such a small piece of wood that you wouldn't normally even keep it. And when I mount it on there, this is what it's going to look like. I have to glue it on later, and I will do that later. But here is what it looks like. I hope you can see that. What do you think? Nice little piece. And I could have taken it down just a bit more, and I may still sand it off on the backside, because really there's a little bit of that sticky tape. So I can take it over to the sander, and I can actually reduce this from the backside down just a little bit, so it has a little bit of a less of a profile. And then, yeah, and then it'll be ready for sale. So there's one project out of the way, just a little compact mirror, and easily can make a few bucks on that. So what do we got going on over here? Oh, hi Ryan, good to see you. I'm glad you found me over here. Yeah, please do hit the like button and subscribe. Looks like we got 116 here. That's good. I'm sorry that the live didn't work today. The calendar for some reason. Oh, Big Dog is Big Mix. Oh, okay, great. Hey, Big Mix, you actually got into my video again and not having any trouble getting in, so that's good. Hi Titus. Yeah, I'm going to lower the profile on that. Like I said, I'm going to do it on the back side of it. You know, it's just, like I said, it's just a quick little thing, and I wanted to knock that out. So, some of you guys have been asking for other little small projects. Oop, I don't want to hit the camera. So I thought that would be a nice little fun idea for you. Let me take these out of the way. Okay. By the way, and if you didn't see it earlier, don't know if you saw my my 911 pin, but got this a few years ago. This is from a jeweler in Philadelphia named Steven Singer. He made these and he sold them for 20 years. He sold them, and all the proceeds from these went to build the memorial for the people that were in the airplane that crashed into the field in Pennsylvania. I think that's really cool. He paid for all the other expenses on it, and including shipping and everything. And I think that was a really good thing for him to do. So shout out to Steven Singer. Okay. So, since it does say oak burl, and I had a piece of oak burl left, we talked about this last week. Wanted to figure out what to do with this. I finally figured out how I was going to approach this. So what we're going to do is I mounted that on a piece of board and then mounted that to a faceplate. So we have proper control of it, unless of course the glue gives out, and in that case we'll all be running. But I hope this works, and we're going to make this into a small dish and try and leave as much of the natural part of this as we can, so that it's oops. Sorry, I'm fixing my helmet as we speak here too. Okay, so let's give this a whirl, see what we can do with it. Gonna check that out there. Oh, one other thing I wanted to show you. And hopefully you can see on here. Normally, I've talked to you before about, you know, how I sharpen my blades and I have a set angle for them. Well, a lot of times it's good to have a second bevel, and I don't know if you can see that. Try and bring it a little closer. But there's a second bevel that's a little bit less of an angle than this is, and that's so that when you're getting into the bowl, the bottom of this does not get in the way, and you're able to scoop into the bowl a little bit better. So a secondary bevel doesn't have to be perfect, but a secondary bevel here does allow you to have more control in the bottom of the bowl and coming up through. So it's just another little tip on your sharpening. Okay, I'm going to start about here just to see what's going on. And I think I'm going to have to lower my rest just a little bit. There. I'll take it real easy at first on this. This is very chunky. A lot of vibration going on there. Of course, it may be that way all the way through this turn too, because it is an oak burl, and you never know what you're going to find inside. The bottom of this looks pretty solid, so I'm assuming once we get past the outer hide, so to speak, we might have some better wood. Yeah, it's pretty solid. Okay, good. So let's see, we can go out to about here. I'm going to start about here and take a look at that. playing field, nice, very, not pressing on it at all. Take that really, okay, take a little look. I think I can come out to about, well, I don't want to go too much past this, because I want to leave some of this out here, so I don't want to go too far out. Let me see. I'll take a look. I'll take a little gamble. I'll go out this far. See if I can get you in there a little bit better on this picture here. I'll take this light out of the way. See if that works a little better. Playing field here a little bit. Whoa. Let me double check myself. Okay. So I want to make sure I was still on good terms. Starting to break through there. Doesn't it? And that's why. Look at all these voids in here that I'm trying to cut through. So it's just good to keep an eye on it. Know what you're cutting into. Okay. Now we're starting to get into some stuff here. What do you think? Am I going at it too much, or do you think I should go out a little wider? What do you say, guys? Let's see. You have a ball game. Okay, Mike, well, go play ball or go watch ball. Thanks for dropping in. For the rest of you, please continue to hit the like button, and if you haven't, please subscribe. I'd like to get to 500 tonight, if we can, or a little bit more. All right, well, I'm going to just keep turning and let you guys entertain yourselves there in the conversations for now. I hit softwood and I hit hardwood. I hit softwood and I hit hardwood. Okay, now we got the general idea here, and I can still go down quite a bit more. At least I've got some form here, and I think that's probably about the right size. There we go. Now we're starting to get down in there a little bit. I think I can go about another 1/4 inch or more down in there. With a little bit of tongue and cheek. Try and clean up the inside. closely. What do you think? Come on a little bit. Okay. I'm going to try and hollow out the sides here just a little bit more. I can't go too far because of that, but I think I can get there. Okay. Yeah, feels pretty good. I think we're pretty near the bottom there. Take this out of the way. I'm just going to soften up these sides a little bit. Oops, sorry camera. See if I can use this one in here. I apologize. Got the camera a little close there. Okay. I think we're going to have to leave that at that. And we will start sanding. Now this one's going to be a little bit different sanding. We'll have to turn this on. Sorry. Part is going to be really interesting. You've seen me use these before. Really just going around the outside of your project on the bar. Using all the nooks and crannies. that's nice and soft. And get in here. What do we got up here? Hey, John up north, how you doing? Turning your biggest bull yet, huh? Just taking a break? Yeah, I've got a couple of big ones I'd like to put on here, but I haven't done them yet. Excuse my backside, you guys. Let's see here. Let's put a little of this tung oil on here. Start brushing it around. See if we can bring some. This burl probably was sitting around for, I would guess, maybe 15, 20 years. I know that the guy who I got it from an estate sale, but the guy who had it had tried to sell these burls for, I think the last time he had them up was for about $75 a piece. I got burls plus about 7 other pieces of this oak, this burled oak. Including a couple of large planks, all for 25 bucks. That was a pretty good deal. That was at an auction, and took me a while to figure out what I was going to do with them. So I've cut up the first one, and this is I think it's about the last actual bowl piece I'll be getting out of that one burl, but the other burl is actually larger, and it's probably in the 40 to 45 pound range. It's roughly about 30 inches by 22, 23 inches, and about 12 inches deep. It's pretty big, and not knowing what was inside, I cut it so that I could make several bowls out of it instead of trying to make one big one and then finding out there was a huge empty spot in the middle, which, based on the weight, there's probably not a lot of empty spots in there. Although this one has a lot of empty pockets, little pockets. But it's mostly solid wood, and almost none of it's punky wood, which is really nice. And there, that's just the first coat. But what do you think? See if I can get you in there a little bit closer to see the grain on that. Kind of a nice piece of wood, isn't it? It's like us, you get us all in a tuxedo and stuff, and all of a sudden we do when we're in our shorts and t-shirts. So that helps out a little bit. What do we got here? Hey Chase, can I refocus the camera? It's blurry. That's what you said last time too, but I'm looking at the screen. I'm looking up at the TV and so forth. It doesn't look blurry, but if you think it is, do that. But it's coming out pretty clear for me. How about the rest of you? Is it blurry for the rest of you, or? Hey, New Beginnings, how you doing? It is some pretty wood. It's a nice burl, and like I said, this is just the first coat. I'll probably be doing 3 or 4 coats on this eventually. Let me put a little more on here right now. I love using this tung oil because it doesn't make your brush dry or anything, so you can keep using this brush for months and months and months. I'm gonna put a little bit down in these holes. I know there's no critters in there anymore, but I don't know where the holes go to. I pour stuff down there and it never comes out the other end, so I'm not sure where it all goes. And it's with like things. I put money in the bank and I'm not sure where it all goes. It just kind of disappears. I see a little bit coming out of the back side, so there. It's a little of that. Okay. All right, well, I'm going to take this off here in a second, and I will let that settle and dry some, and we'll decide what to. Right now, I think done all the damage I can on that one, and there. So there you go, guys. Put that here so you can kind of see it. Come back up just a little bit. There we go. You can see it. Here we are. So I'll be taking a little bit of hot, little heater to this, and it'll loosen this glue, and I'll be able to just pop this right off, sand the back, and finish it, and this will be ready to go. So much for that project there. Gotta love quick projects, you know? They kind of make up for the ones that you spend hours and hours working on, and then nobody wants to pay anything when you get to the craft show. These little ones kind of make up for that. And you kind of have to balance that out a little bit sometimes. Okay. I'll set that over there to dry. Let's see. So, I did want to talk one little thing here. For those of you that have traditional scrapers, not all of you do, but some of you do, scraper. That's one of my favorites. And I've got a burnishing tool. And if you don't have a burnishing tool, you should have one. And you always want a burnishing tool that is of a stronger metal than your scraper, if you can. In this particular case, it's kind of hard because this is M2 steel, but so is my burnisher, so that's what I've got. And whenever I'm trying to get a new burl on here, I will kind of scrape outward, like that. Then I get the angle that the scraper has, and I'll try and do that no more than about twice, and feel a little bit of an edge. I'm going to try that one more time, and it could get to the point where after a couple times of doing this, you may actually have to go to back to the grinder, and there we go. Okay, so you may have to go back to the grinder and set a new line, but you want to do that every once in a while. Make sure that you're getting the full use out of your scraper. Otherwise, you're kind of cutting yourself a little short. So, if you don't have a burnisher, you should get one. They're not very much money, and they're worth their weight in gold. Just my opinion, but I really like using it. Okay. Now, this is an ash piece that I started to turn the other day. Just wanted to get it rounded out, and I said we'd come back to this. And it has this. Well, it's got a lot of nice limb work here, I guess, but it's also got holes in it. So this is probably going to have to mostly go away. So I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking, well, why don't we make this more of a V-shaped bowl, if we can. So I'm going to try, and again, this is really hard wood. It's not very forgiving. So I thought we'd give it a shot, see if we can make it work. So give me a chance here. Still having a problem with my trend helmet here. I charge both batteries, and then they say that they're not charged. I don't get it. I charge them both, And after about 20 minutes of running out, even though I followed the charge for 14 hours. So I'm gonna have to have a little conversation with friends. Let's see. Here. I think that's all I'll need. Let's see. I wanted to make sure that my mortise was inside of this, so it wasn't going to get into that kind of wood. On the outside here. Fix that a little bit. Why it's good to have a right-handed and a left-handed one, so that you can come in from this way or you can go this way and get nice cuts. So, okay, let's see what we can do with this. So I want to kind of go from here all the way to the outside, so we're going to have to kind of chalk away at that. Speed that up a little bit. Love to watch those, don't you? You see, now you just have a little bit of that, and that's all pretty solid wood now. So I managed to get rid of most of that. And clean that up just a little bit. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. And that's very smooth using that cut. That almost doesn't need a sanding. It's really nice. One of the good things about working with a really solid, hard piece of wood is you don't necessarily have to sand it as much if you treat it right. So, I think we need to come in on this one. I'm gonna have to let this cool off just a second. That was getting so hot I couldn't even keep my hand up there. A lot of friction. But you can see, I'll try and go a little bit higher with this camera angle here. Or maybe I'll move you to a different camera holder and see if we can't get you some better angles here. Okay. There we go. Oops. There. Hopefully that's a little bit better for you. Oh, so you're going to finally drop one on Saturday, like? That's great. We'll get a chance to look for it. All of you that are watching, I hope you like this video. Hit the like button, and if you can, subscribe if you haven't already. We're trying to keep growing the channel and come up with more and more tips for you. Whew. That is hot, hot wood. Okay. So I got a really acute angle here. And I think it's time to sand this. This is just about perfect. I'm just going to do a little cut right here. Like so. That really helps. Yeah, I like how that's going. Okay. Well, back to the old sander again. Take this thing off. This beep, beep, beeps driving me nuts. Okay, I do have to turn this on. Ooh, what a lot of shavings we got going here. We got a crack starting up right there too. I gotta be careful of that. Just since I turned this, the pressure release has already released some cracks. Just that quickly. You release the pressure on the wood, and that's what happens. We're gonna have to feed this. Seal it a little bit so that it doesn't feel like it has to we also have some end grain here, which will start sprouting. We don't get to it quickly. Sometimes timing is everything on these things. See, this is opening up even as we speak. Look at this crack that's opening up here. That crack was not there a few minutes ago. That's a little bit of a concern because if I'm going to do a mortise tenon, I don't want to be pushing out against something that's cracking away from it. Time here and see what we can do. What I'm saying, you always have to be reading the wood even as you're turning, because that's reality right there. That's what happens. And this is not a wet piece of wood. This has been sitting for several months. But it is a piece of wood that, because it's under a lot of stress, you can start to do this as soon as you start relieving the pressure. I do see some really nice little bits of color and marbling going on here, so still turn out to be a pretty piece of wood. I don't need to go any further than that right now. But I do need to get some oil on this. Turn this off. Put some oil on this. Before we can turn it around, we're going to need to make sure that it's controlled here. Smells really good because this has that lemon scene in it. It's a lemon extract. So it really smells good when you put it on the wood. Makes me kind of hungry for some lemon pie. Not sure what parts of the world you guys are all in, but right now our apples are starting to come ripe. And they're baking apples, and so my wife had to experiment this morning with some of them and make us some apple, well, basically an apple streusel turnover, so to speak. Darn, I had to, be the test person for that, tell her whether it was any good or not. And it took me a couple pieces to find out whether it was good or not. I didn't want to make a quick judgment opinion on that, so I said I had to have a couple pieces to make sure. She looked at me like most wives look at you and said, "No, you can have one piece." So I'm sure I'm not alone in that regard. There. At least we can see what the colors are like in here. What do you think? Is it worth saving now? Yeah, the same wood juice I'm using. Yeah, it's the stuff I've been making. How's it working for you, big dog? It sucks it right in. I know that. And the idea is that you keep putting it on until it stops, because it will harden. The nice thing about tung oil is it will harden inside and harden the wood fibers as it quenches the wood, and it makes a nice durable finish that you can then add on to with other things later. You can, if you want to finish it off with something else, but you really don't have to. It really creates kind of its own. You can just put like a honey wax finish on it or something and just buff it out, and that'd be just fine. But tung oil with a little bit of linseed, and I put a little bit of mineral oil or cutting oil, which are, by the way, cutting board oil is mineral oil. Just so you know, you're just paying a lot higher price for it. And make sure your tung oil is 100% tung oil. It's not mixed with some other ingredients, because you want 100% tung oil going into this. Now, it looks like the cracks have kind of stopped for the moment because it's getting nourished. And it's going, okay, I can handle this. And as fast as I'm wiping that on, this is almost dry to the finish. A little bit on my fingers. Almost dry to the finish. So I'm going to let this dry for just a few seconds and catch up with you guys. Have a drink of water. What's up? What else is going on here? By the way, guys, I found out something today I'm going to pass along to you, those of you that have a Tractor Supply in your area, a company called Tractor Supply. They have a craft show, I guess, at most of their locations nationwide once a year, and it's free. And they let you go out in the parking lot for about 4 hours or so and set up a booth and sell your wares, and all you have to do is sign up. It was too late for us to get to the one this year, Ryan. Sorry, I just found out about it today. But in the future, yeah, if you can go find out from your local Tractor Supply when they're having theirs, you might be able to get a spot to sell some of your items. So just another little friendly tip from the 2-minute tip guy. Okay, time for another little quenching. Jeez, it's just sucking this stuff in. And this was not that dry of a piece of wood, but it is not pooling up at all. It is not. That's good, I guess, because that means it needed it. And it doesn't take much. A bottle this size, I can do probably 20, 30 projects, no problem. So it goes a long way. There. Okay. Hi, Nakam, and everybody else out there. Let me kind of go back to see if I'm missing anybody. Hi, LJ. How you doing? Yeah, a pulled. You were mentioning the pulled burr. Yeah, it can be a little more grabby, but you control it by taking light strokes, not heavy strokes, and really being careful with your scraper, and it will do a really good job for you. So it's a matter of working with the tool, and yeah, it can grab occasionally. You try not to have a long burr. You want to have just a very razor thin burr, but you want it to be strong enough to hold while you do the bottom of a bowl. And that's about all you can ask of it. I mean, you're not going to do a whole bowl with it, but you can do the outside of a bowl or something like that, or the inside, pretty efficiently. So LJ, this is what the Laguna looks like when you really are messy with it and not cleaning it all the time. Like I know you keep yours nice and clean. So, okay, it's trying to dry out there. I think I'll spin it for just a minute to kind of get it dried out. Not sure why the shaking is going on there. Let's see. Here we go. There we go. Pretty nice. Okay, well, now the moment of truth. Turning it around. Actually, before I do that, I should make sure that these jaws fit. Oh yeah, they fit big actually. Could have made that a little smaller. Okay. Let's see here. Let's put the drill. There we go. That was easy. Maybe too easy. I don't like it when things go that easy. Here. Oops. That's a little off. Let me see. Yeah. Want to look at the bottom there, make sure there's nothing in the way there. Make sure they can lay in there nice and flat. It is dovetailed, so. There we go. There we go. Okay. So you want to be a bowl, huh? How much if you want off the top? going to kind of go in this way, and then we're going to have to go back out that way on this one, just to give it a little more look. Yeah. Okay, Wilson. Well, let's keep the people on here. We only got 94 though. Let's make sure everybody's hitting the like button and subscribing if they can. Help the channel. I'd like to get to 500 today if we can on subscribers. Okay, okay. Whoa! No, pushed a little too hard on that. Nothing happened on mortise. It just came off. So again, following my own rules, stop and check it every once in a while. Fortunately, it was only going at about 1,000 or so RPM. We kind of stayed where it was supposed to. That one, over here to this one. And it could be because of that shifting wood or crack just a little bit too, so I gotta be careful with that. I have to be real careful on a lot of this one, I think, to be sure I get it all correct. I also need to straighten out this edge here. Well, it's really, boy, it's doing it again. Wow. Thing is really
grinding on them. Let's see here. I'm not gonna. So you came to watch a car wreck. This might be the one. This one's giving me a little bit of trouble. I can fix that edge. That's not a problem. Trying to get some other things out of my way here a little bit. And that I might have to bring the tailstock up for a little while. I don't want to do that. I don't like to do that. Okay, let me get that. There we go. Okay, that'll work. Now, I might have to go sharpen this and go to another gouge. But I think this one's getting, it's pretty sharp there, but yeah, it's like it's getting a little bit dull. Yeah, just switch. Oh, bring up the big guy. And we'll turn the speed back up. And starts to do that again. Starts to get loose every time I get to the center. Not sure why it's slipping. There's nothing wrong with this mortise. It just doesn't have a, hold on. Doesn't have any grip on it either on the side, so it's a smooth surface. That could be the reason. I might need to switch to a different stuff. I don't want to do that because I don't want to waste your time. I have to take with really light strokes, I guess, try and get this to go. See there? Just doing that. Right in there. It's a rough spot for some reason. Let's see what's there. Oh, it's the holes from the screws. When I get to that point, for some reason it just really doesn't like that. So we're going to come out with these. One of the downsides to a faceplate sometimes where a chuck nut actually works better. And that's going to be the hard part, is matching this inside to the outside. Where it's really going to become difficult. I want to see if I can get past those screw holes. I think I'm okay now. Boy, does that get hot. Oh, man, undercutting and undercutting. Yeah, I'm not hurting the wood or anything. It's not hurting the wood. It just grabs. So I may end up having to switch chucks. Like I said, I don't want to do that to you guys while you're on lives. You can always switch to another project and come back to this later. Step aside for a second. It's the helmet beeping, I'm sorry. Yeah. Sorry, it's that damned... I'm going to turn this off, sorry. I'll wear something else to protect me. Obviously I need something for protection. Wilson, thank you very much for everything. No, the oil's not making it slip. No, it's just because it's on there nice and tight. I can't budge it with either hand. It's just this wood, the way the grain works. I'm kind of, I don't know. It's just a. I mean, this is just really hard. You could make mallets out of this stuff. It is really, really, really hard. I'll give you an example. I'm trying to push a screwdriver into that, and I can't hardly make a dent. That's how hard this wood is. Look at that. Can't even make a dent in it. So it is a very hard wood. And I may give it one more try, but I think I'm going to have to, I might have to finish this one up on with another chuck that has a little bit of a grip to the back end of it. These are smooth hands or fingers, what do you call it? And so they don't grip quite as well. By the way, the oak burl is drying beautifully. It's now look what it's done is it's really dark and it's almost made it look charcoaly. So that's also what happens as the oil gets in there. And as you let it sit longer, it's going to kind of lighten up again. If I put this out in the sun, it'll lighten up a little bit. So it keeps changing even after you take it off the lathe. So now we have this really bright, nice color inside, and it's really dark outside. It looks like I painted it, but I didn't. It's just the oil on the bark. So you see it keeps morphing as we go.
Okay, well, nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? Let's give this another try. I'm a glutton for punishment. I learned this from Mike at the Whacking Shack. You know, I think it's every time I try and go deep, go a little bit deeper and cut a little bit more than I should. It's probably when it's grabbing. And this wood is just going to take a lot of really light cuts. It may take 500 of this to get to the bottom of it. I don't know. But when I try and take a lot like, you know, that's off, it doesn't seem to like that too much, so. I'll kind of treat this a little bit like a scraper. A little less like a gouge. Let's see what we can do. I can do this with my scraper. Maybe so. I'm a little bit in your way here. Let me fix that. There. Now I'm not in the way so much. I have to keep looking up and seeing what the camera angles are. I need to keep that undercut going too at the same time. Okay. It's holding up, that's good. Now, I need to use this. Get underneath it.
But I just don't think it's going to be a good looking bowl if I don't undercut here and get down into this area over here. So I just feel like I have to get in there somehow. Yeah, and I don't want to cause too much trouble with that either. Hey, well, we'll just keep going with this. If you haven't already, if you please hit the like button or subscribe, I appreciate it. There. That's doing. It is taking a long time to get down in there. It is really taking a long time. Also, we need to take some of this out. Yeah. And I am getting a pile of little shavings on here. We're about, not quite an inch, well, about an inch in, about thumbs in right now. So we're about right here, roughly, except not on the sides. On the sides it's curving up too much. So I gotta somehow get in there without it falling apart on me. Big Max, what are you up to? What are you making? You got all that nice wood. I know you're making something. Like LJ, I find most of my wood is like wood that was cut into the neighbor's yard or in a firebox or oh yeah, I was gonna do it. I knew I was gonna do that. So it's like you don't get the nice pretty wood from the wood store. You kind of have to figure out what's inside and make it into something. Really come loose, it just kind of tweaked a little. burrs mostly come off of this scraper. Cutting, but not as much. Ongoing little project here, I think, because it just doesn't want. It is hard as a rock. Whew. Which is good. That means it'll hold up to a thin turning, and as long as it doesn't continue to crack, and I don't see any more reference of that after I put the tongue oil on there. It seems to have stopped it from cracking further, although I do see the cracks there. So as we get inside, it may be cracking towards the bottom too, and I don't like that, so we got to be really careful with that. See, I need to do that there. And what happened with this kind of wood before is this hole blew out. Because of the way the grain runs. So when I try and go lean with this, and I may have to rethink myself, it can blow out. Because the weakness can be in the grain itself. Like right here or something, you just have a weak spot and you hit it and the whole thing comes flying off. And that's what happened to one of my other bowls a couple weeks back. So, same wood. So I'm thinking that maybe I may not be able to go all the way in there and all the way out. I may just be able to dip down in and not do that. I don't like that idea, but that might be what I have to do to salvage the bowl. We'll see. But, you know, I'm going to stop on this one for now. One, because it's pissing me off, but also because I think I'm going to need to change jaws. And to do that, I don't want to do that on your time. I would do that on my time. Later on. Just so you can kind of get a good look at the bowl. There we go. And the outside of it looks really nice. I like the shape of it. The inside is just, well, right now it's kind of a shallow candy dish. It's not quite to the halfway part. It's probably right to about here. Right about here. So I still need to go here, and then I need to go down here tapered. So the tapering part's easy, but the getting out here is the hard part. And as you can see, it slopes right now. So yeah, I'm gonna have to keep working on that. Keep resharpening my tools. Take it very slowly. See if I can't save this, because I know it's a pretty piece of wood. I know it'd be a nice bowl for somebody, but I don't want to force the wood into something it doesn't want to do right now. So this is going to be the next one we're going to work on, and I'm not going to do this all on you today. I just wanted you to kind of see it. So I know some of you want to go watch the Green Bay Packers play today. Actually, I do too. Mostly for my fantasy league guys, not for the game itself necessarily, but I do have a fantasy league. So this is all going to have to come off, and I do have a short end on this end, deeper here. It goes at a big angle. So the first part of the turning is actually just taking all of this off. And that's really messy to do,
because it just comes flying around at you and flying around at you, and you have to be really careful that it's not beating the hell out of you. But we'll spin it up just a little bit, just to see. Whoa! And you see what I mean? The center is nothing, but it's got this big pieces right here. This bark with the little underlying stuff inside there, and that's going to be a little bit of a fight. So probably going to have to go like this. From the inside out. This is when you get all the stuff that flies right underneath your shirt and just on the back and everywhere else. Even if you're wearing an apron and a helmet, it just covers you with it. Yeah, we're kind of getting a little more evened out now. There. See how quickly that comes out. This is turning a lot easier than that other wood we were turning. This is that cypress. And you can see just how much nicer it is to turn. So when turners say that they have certain woods they like to turn and certain they don't, this would be an example of it. That ash is kind of a pain, although it does turn nice and smoothly if you get it right. Trying to flatten this off a little bit. A few big pieces falling off. Okay, now let's see if we can come from the outside in. There. So we've somewhat flattened the bottom off. We got this curving here, but we got some of that flattened off. Now let's see if we can curve off the sides a little bit more too. See, we have a side that comes a little bit further. See, it's about an inch away here, and it's right up against it right here. So we're going to have the same issue going up this way. I got a face mask on.
little closer. Don't like having that tool hanging way out over the tool rest. Let's see if we can't get a little bit more. Close my curtain a little bit there. Spin this up. Trying to give you a good view of running the bevel there. Ooh, that hurt a little bit. Now that did get hot, but compared to what I was just going through with all that, compared to what I did just a little bit to get hot like that on that harder wood, this, you can tell, softer wood turns easier. It doesn't put as much friction on it. It just really does do a nicer job of turning. Just a little more. Okay, let's see what we got. And that quickly, we got the makings of a bowl. Obviously it's still in the raw state, but it's going to be an interesting bowl. Okay guys, well, I think we're going to call it a day, because I know like it's getting late for some of you on the East Coast, and those of you that are overseas, it's already bedtime, and those on the West Coast, well, you probably want to watch the football game, so, or in the Midwest, you want to watch the football game. So, let's call this a day. I'm going to try and fix some of the problems that were on this last one, simply because I don't know why YouTube did not let me go live on my scheduled live. It let me go live without the scheduling, without the calendar. That's I don't understand. I will show you this one more time. This is the way we started the show. Take it off here. Okay. The way we started the show is that we showed some of the things my wife's been doing around the shop. This is, of course, Elvis, and this is some of the crosses that she makes and so forth, and how she embellishes some of my bowls that maybe aren't that great looking by themselves, but once you put a little bit of work into them. And then her floating teacups that have no means of support that she's made. Some of the other objects that she works on throughout the shop.
And we did start all this off by saying hello to my father-in-law, her dad, who is 90 years old and living in Oregon. And these were the two. I don't know if you can see that one very well. But if you can't, go back to the other video that we did and see what she did with these. They're really, really cool to look at. So I appreciate you all being here today. If you can, please hit the like button if you haven't already. Please subscribe. I will do better next time, and we will talk to you all soon. Thank you.